Let me hurry up and get in here today. I actually been sitting here for 20 minutes trying to see. It's so much going on. It's so much going on. How y'all doing? Today is Thursday. It is ooh, August the 15th. One more day and we can chill. One more day. Let me go ahead. Now, let's follow up with this foundation real quick before I get into the news because I'm waiting for y'all to get y'all notifications. YouTube will send y'all a notification if you subscribe to the channel and you go ahead and click that notification bell. Make sure you put it on all. And the system will let you know immediately when I go live. There's also a setting on your phone that you have to do. So when you're looking at your phone, you go down here to your icon picture, click the icon picture, go to the top and hit the little settings wheel. And then you go down to notifications. YouTube actually turned everything off by default. So you have to go in this area and turn on all your notifications in order for you to get them. I guess it's kind of good, like if you're at work, you don't want notifications on your phone. But I guess that's why they implemented that. But a lot of times we forget that we have turned off notifications and we don't know, and we use our phone most of the time, and you're not going to get the notification. So aside from clicking that bell inside of YouTube, you have to set your notifications on the phone as well. So let me also update you because yesterday was actually the first day that I got outside and did a little walking. Yesterday was the first day, and I think I got at least 5,000 steps. Oh, yeah. So here we go. Here go my steps for the week. It says I'm averaging 3. You see, I didn't do a whole lot. And yesterday was Wednesday, right here. I know it's hard to see, but that's the 5,000 mark right there. So I got over 5,000 steps. I walked on my lunch break. So we're getting back to it. Let me tell you something. This little Neutrogena that you get out of the drugstore is really good. It's a really good balm. But be careful because it does come in colors. And then they have a neutral. So I usually get the berry. And these are great to just keep in your car. So you have something. Yeah, this is fresh plum. But it's so good. Look, there's nothing left. And I'm still trying to stick my lip down in it to get some. And they're expensive too. They like $9 or $11. Might be double digits. But they are expensive. Now, a follow-up. This foundation combination right here is thebomb.com. It wore all day, and the color was Chef's Kiss, and it just made my skin look so smooth. So every time I decide to wear foundation, I'm going to mix these two. And this is my summer shade, is 415. I'm giving y'all time to come in. And in Danessa Myricks, I have 7. Ooh, so that worked out perfect yesterday. And just a side note, we need to find out how many of these hair care businesses are still Black owned. Because I've been hearing so many of them came out during the pandemic, sold out recently. And I've been hearing about one company that everybody likes. Their hair growth oil, when they decided to sell out, people have been complaining that their hair been breaking out. And you know why? Because if you got a multi-million-dollar business, and it seemed like a lot of our folks, they just hit a lick. They hit a lick, and they said, you know what? I got enough to take care of my family. I don't want to deal with this no more. I want to go live. And they sold out. And if you got a multi-million-dollar company, of course they come in to buy it to gain that audience, but also to stop you from being the competition. And from what I heard, they changed the ingredients so that all people can use the products. And so I was thinking about, well, what ingredients could they be changing? One thing I think about when it comes to hair care is they reduce the amount of oil or moisturizing ingredients, because people don't want oil in their hair. So that's one thing. And they start putting in chemicals that look or act like oil. So let me see what we're going to do today. I know I am not putting on makeup. So we're going to do our skincare, and we're going to see what's going on in the news. But on a serious note, I just got an Amber Alert. Just got it like an hour ago. And it actually came through. It came through on the Ring app. So a lot of you may have gotten the Amber. Look how long that is. Look. That's the Amber Alert, y'all. So there's an Amber Alert issued for missing children in Virginia Beach. The Virginia State Police and the Virginia Missing Children's Clearinghouse has issued an Amber Alert on behalf of the City Police Department for multiple child abductions that occurred yesterday at 10 o'clock at night, 10:58. The children are believed to be in extreme danger and was last seen at J.R. Court in Virginia Beach, Virginia. The abducted are number 1, Zaire Plummer, 5 years old, black male, black hair, brown eyes, about 4 feet in height, 100 pounds. Last seen wearing gray pants and black jacket. Zian Plummer, 7-year-old. Last seen wearing rust-colored pants, light blue shirt. Zariah Plummer, 16 months. Wearing pink tights. The children are believed to be abducted by Dana Damaris Plummer, age 36, African-American male, 5'9", 170 pounds, maybe in a black 2024 Honda Passport SUV, temporary plates 3755 OR, unknown direction. For additional information, there is a link, or you may call 757-385-5000 or 911. And what is this right here saying? It looks like they have added photos. Okay. Make sure my phone. So they have added photos. And that's the companion. So they're missing a 1-year-old, and she's the little girl, and 2 boys, 7 and 5. And there is a picture of the associated companion. It sounds like a family abduction, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to include the link at the bottom of this video when it's over with. I'm going to include the link. Ooh. So let's get into it today. I'm going to work on my skincare. Woo. Okay, time for the fan, y'all. Time for the fan. First thing I wanted to share was some of the tropical storm devastation that showed up in Chesapeake Bay. People walking around, ooh wee. Sandy Point, we used to go there every year for our company cookouts. Ooh. I think I got a sneak. Oh, excuse me. Y'all know this ain't the real news. This ain't the real news. Now, there was a case going on not too long ago about a DC employee. Essentially, he heard something outside of his home. He heard some noise. It sounded like, somebody was trying to steal his car. He came out. I don't know if somebody shot at him and he shot back, or if he just shot out. But the case has started now. So let me take you back so we can get a background on this case.
The 13-year-old took the stand in his own murder trial today. So last year, police said Jason Lewis shot at Karan Blake after the 42-year-old thought he was breaking into cars along Quincy Street in Northeast. The defense.
So they're saying this is Jason Lewis. He shot at this 13-year-old, Karan Blake.
Argues Lewis fired in self-defense, and today Lewis himself was able to give his version of what happened the morning of January 7th. Our Rafael Sanchez-Cruz has been all over this story since the beginning. And Rafa, what is Lewis saying about what happened that day?
Well, Lorenzo, day 6 of this trial wrapped up in just the last 30 minutes. And for 2 hours, Jason Lewis answered questions about what happened the morning of January 7th when he shot and killed Karan Blake. And throughout those 2 hours, he insisted that he felt threatened and, quote, scared for his life. So let's refresh some of the details about this case. Court documents filed last year indicate that Lewis fired his gun after he believed people were breaking into cars outside of his home on Quincy Street Northeast. Now, today, Lewis testified that he stepped out of his home because he heard someone tampering with his gate. Now, Lewis says that he believes a person inside a car who was not Blake pointed a gun at him and shot at him, which prompted his response to fire back. But Lewis admitted today that he never told police that someone had fired at him. Why didn't he? He says he was in shock. Lewis also admitted today that in the video and audio presented to the jury, you cannot hear any gunshots before he fired his gun. Now, Lewis says that when Blake ran towards him for an unknown reason, that he fired twice in self-defense. The 13-year-old was unarmed, and after being shot, he is heard in the video that was played today to the jury saying, "I'm sorry" several times. "I'm a kid. I'm just 12 years old." Again, Karan was 13 years old during the time that he was shot and killed. Now, the audio that was played today, those last words that were heard from Karan Blake really hit the jury hard. Some emotional during the moments that audio was being played. The final closing arguments in this trial are expected tomorrow morning. We, of course, will stay on top of it, and we'll be here to bring you up to date on this case.
Wow. Wow. So that's what's going on right now. This is day number 6 of this case. Oh, there we go. Let me put myself over here. It is day number 6 of this case. But what I wanted to do was go back to see, if we could get some information on when it first happened. And the other thing I want to know is, what are the laws in your state about protecting your property and yourself? I know that I have lived in some states and you cannot shoot outside your house. It seems like he said he heard some noise outside. He thought some people was trying to steal his car, and he started shooting. And they said he forgot to tell the police that somebody shot at him first. He said he believed it was because his adrenaline was flowing that made him forget. But I'm curious to know, what are the rules for other states? This is an article from January of 2023, last year. Actually, January the 31st. So as soon as the year started, let's see. I don't hear nothing now.
Any loss of life, especially that of a child in the District of Columbia, is tragic.
D.C. Police Chief there confirming 41-year-old Jason Lewis, accused of killing 13-year-old Karan Blake, has now been charged and arrested for second-degree murder while armed. Today, a judge ordering Lewis be held without bond. Let's get right over to Fox 5's Stephanie Ramirez, live outside D.C. Superior Court with those details. Steph?
And I can tell you, Cron Blake's family was in the courtroom for arraignment today. Now, they didn't speak with us afterward, but they were quietly celebrating in the courtroom after the judge ordered 41-year-old Jason Lewis held without bond. The judge saying that this came to Lewis's home, but his reaction to this is what brings us to court today. I want to show you this image here. Sources tell us this is Jason Lewis's LinkedIn profile listing him as a recreation specialist for DPR, DC's Department of Parks and Recreation. The shooting happened in the early morning hours back on January 7th. Now, up until today, we've been reporting that according to DC police, the Northeast DC resident heard a noise, went to inspect. There was some kind of confrontation, but police never revealed what happened in and in between that confrontation and shots fired. The case then going before a grand jury. Well, today, DC Police Chief Robert Conti confirmed there was no confrontation. Court documents released show stills taken from area surveillance video. The chief saying today that Blake and two others were breaking into cars. Images show two suspects shining flashlights in car windows as a third person waits parked in reverse at the entrance of a nearby alleyway. This is described as a getaway car that police say was stolen. A witness told police that they saw suspects standing near Lewis's car. Lewis tells investigators he saw youngsters in black and shouted, "Hey, what are y'all doing?" The court documents say surveillance video doesn't show the exact shooting, but there is audio gained as well as timestamps. And from that, investigators determined that Lewis had actually shot at the getaway car first and hit it. The getaway car then takes off without Blake, who then turns and runs toward Lewis. And we're told that he fired at the entrance from his enclosed porch at 1033 Quincy Street Northeast. Chief Conti saying that Lewis did not initially tell police he shot at the car first.
The first shot that was fired was actually fired at someone who was sitting in a vehicle who was not an immediate threat to the person. So that in itself, raises issues, right?
You shooting outside your home. Now you shooting just random people because you heard a noise. Why is it we think of automatically shooting instead of calling the police? If you heard a noise outside, you could have called the police. You could have got a little straightening.
A vehicle that's parked over here, a shot gets fired at that person that's sitting in the car. What if that person got hit by that round, right? By that bullet, or an innocent person,
right?
Well, that bullet went into somebody's house.
An emailed statement from Lewis's attorney says Mr. Lewis maintains his innocence. While this certainly is a tragedy, once all the facts are heard, I believe that a jury will find that there was no crime here. The attorney also offers condolences to the Blake family. In court documents, Lewis had expressed that he didn't know why the 13-year-old ran toward him and told police he had heard Blake say, I'm a kid. In the court documents as well, guys, an investigator says that according to surveillance video, Cron Blake could be heard yelling, "I'm sorry," multiple times. "Please don't. No, I'm a kid and I'm only 12. Back to you.
Gosh. That is devastating. So this is Mr. Lewis. He is a DC employee. And I was shocked to learn that in his job, he deals with teenagers every day. Now, I'm not on nobody's side. I'm just finding out, giving commentary as I see stuff, because I see wrong on both ends. Like, why is he said he was 12 or 13. Like, why is your 13-year-old out in the middle of the night with a group of friends? Why are you just shooting blindly in the air? Like, this is so great.
Being right now, a student in critical condition. This after being found unconscious in a high school bathroom. It happened at Wakefield High School.
Just playing. But this is so dangerous on all ends, because I just think about the night that we went to concerts recently, But before we had to go to the concert, we had to go outside at night and walk our dogs because we knew we was going to be gone for a long time. So just imagine if I lived on the same street and this man was just out here shooting blindly at night. Very dangerous, very dangerous. There are reasons why people out at night, you know, you could have a sick dog that you got to walk, anything. You should never be shooting blindly outside. And is a car worth it? When you can always call the police and let the police do their job and see what's going on. So I think it's bad on both situations. I don't understand why this child was out at 10 o'clock at night with a group of friends. He said he was 12. The news reporter said he was 13. Maybe he was 12 when it happened and turned 13 next. But this is a government, well, yes, a DC government employee. Now I heard that if someone comes into your house, then you can defend yourself. But just shooting outside blindly. But I was reading this article right here, and they said this is a screenshot of the child standing next to his house. Okay, the court documents say that Mr. Lewis saw a vehicle on the street and yelled, "Hey." Lewis told officers he was standing in the entryway to his courtyard when Blake ran towards him. Lewis also told officers that Blake was standing within his yard when he fired. But how do you know this child just don't need some help? Why are you automatically firing? And then there's another video right here. So this case is going on right now. It's in day number 6. This is tragic. I think I saw a video where they had the community came together and they had some meetings, and it didn't go down well at the community meeting. He did turn himself in, but it just don't look good when you just shooting blindly outside. That's weird to me. Oh, is this him right here? Oh, so this look like Mr. Lewis. See, he is on his property, arms stretched out, shooting out. Like by the time you grabbed your thing and went outside, you could have just called 911. And what if your bullet had went into somebody's house? Like I said, it's wrong on both ends, because you certainly should not be out there taking nobody's property. Yeah, this ain't the video. Like everybody done did a video about this.
The shooter of DC government
agency. I can tell you the employee, like in other cases where we've had an employee on administrative leave.
They put him on administrative leave.
public safety.
No.
But he is on administrative leave right now in
Yes.
the city government?
Yes.
Now, I don't even think I got enough time But let's get into this next story I wanted to bring awareness to. Is it look like we got another bug coming on? Let's see. They talk about the monkeypox, y'all, and I've seen this video, several video and articles
of Africa, and the WHO said this recent outbreak is of
Africa a global health emergency.
The international agency said a deadlier strain of the virus has reached unaffected provinces on the continent of Africa, and the WHO said this recent outbreak is of international concern, which is leading to fear here at home.
Yeah, we're committed to the facts, not fear. Joining us right now is Dr. Brandy Darby, Director of the Division of Surveillance and Investigation at the Virginia Department of Health. Dr. Darby, thanks for joining us so much. Good to see you.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
All right, first, let's lay this all out here. What exactly is MPOX?
Sure. MPOX is a contagious rash illness. It's caused by a virus that's known as the MonkeyPOX virus, and it's easily transmitted between people, person to person, who've been in close contact with one another.
Now, I'm curious here because this is the second time that we've seen the World Health Organization designate MPOX as a global emergency. So is there a vaccine? And if so, how effective is it?
Sure. We saw MPOX emerge in the United States in the summer of 2022. There was a very large uptick in cases. And soon after that, there was a very safe and effective vaccine called Jynneos that was rolled out that really helped us control transmission of the virus here in the United States. Unfortunately, in Africa, they haven't had the same level of access to this vaccine as we've had here. And we've seen continued increases in cases in Africa.
At one point, they were administering vaccines here. I know myself, I actually got an MPOX vaccine during that time as well. Who's most at risk for contracting MPOX?
Sure. While anyone can get the virus, about 95% of the cases that we've seen here in Virginia have been in adult men. Many of those men have reported having sexual interactions with other men. We've also seen people with HIV infections be overrepresented amongst our MPOX cases, as well as minority populations, including those of African American and Hispanic or Latino origins.
So if we think about safety and trying to get ahead of this a bit, how do we decrease our risk of exposure?
There's a number of really effective ways people can protect themselves against this virus. It really takes pretty close contact with an infected person for transmission to occur. So anyone who might be at greater risk, a lot of the types of transmission that we're seeing come through sexual contacts. And so for people who are very active, things that you can do to help protect yourself in addition to getting vaccinated would be things like not engaging in close contact with people who are known to have MPOX, making sure to wash hands and not share utensils after you've been around someone who's been infected. And then, other things that you can do to decrease your risk would be things like decreasing the number of sexual partners that you have and making sure to engage in safe sexual practices.
So we had touched on, facts, not fear. And so we just wanted to touch on, something that our audience might be wondering, should we be worried or afraid of this?
Sure. Here in the United States, we have seen continued transmission of this virus, but at much lower levels than we.
Okay. So there she go. So it sounds like to me, it's not like the vid where it was airborne. This sounds like you got to be in close, intimate contact with somebody in order to get it. From what I'm hearing from that video, she did not say it was airborne. But yeah, monkeypox is out. And I was watching this video, the video I just showed, and they're calling it MPOX or monkeypox. But what I noticed is the bottle has smallpox on it. And if I'm not mistaken, I think most of us got a smallpox vaccine as a child. I don't even see mine. But if you got like a circle thing on your arm, oh yeah, I think mine is right here. You got the smallpox vaccine. They actually came to schools. See, y'all young people don't know about this. But during my time, smallpox was so bad. They said they got permission from your parents. I don't know. But they came into schools and gave everybody a shot or a vaccination.
Today, from the World Health Organization, the WHO declares MPOX.
Oh.
And MPOX.
Okay, so that's the same. So let me stop sharing. There we go. So y'all be careful out there. It seemed like yeah, I got the same lady up here. I thought it was two separate videos. But MPOX is on the rise. And this doctor was from Virginia. So they must have seen a lot of cases in Virginia. And do I have just a little bit of time? Yeah, let's just go on and get into it right quick, because this story been itching. There is a doctor, and I'm going to say doctor because at the beginning, nobody knew she was a nurse practitioner. And as a patient, you know, when you go in the office, once you see the person that take your blood pressure, you automatically think the next person is a doctor. But she's actually a nurse practitioner who got to arguing with a patient. Yeah, she got to arguing with a patient. And the patient pulled out their camera phone, pulled out their camera phone and recorded the doctor, how the doctor was talking to her. So I found the video clip on Twitter. This is the doctor right here. So the doctor started recording too. And somebody said it was an issue about insurance. And then somebody else in these comments said it was an issue about some Percocets. So this is the doctor right here. You see how she's talking and recording? Let's just get into the article. Racist Somalian immigrant nurse in Columbus, Ohio, calls Black American the N-word with the hard ER, I heard, and a slave. I just had to take a breather because I don't think you understand me. An African called an African American the N-word and a slave. Yeah. The Black community is demanding that the state of Ohio, and they done added everybody in this article, honey. Everybody been added. Revoke the nursing license of Adama Diallo, a 39-year-old certified nurse practitioner and owner of Eastland Family Practice, LLC in Columbus, Ohio. Come on, Ohio. Y'all come on. Y'all done made the news. Nurse Adama Diallo is a Somalian immigrant. Pause, hold. Somalians don't come for me. I know y'all have told us this lady is not Somalian. But at the beginning, that's what we thought. The Somalians have reported back and said she is not Somalian. Okay, so wherever you see Somalian in here, don't even worry about it. We already got that clarified. She fled her homeland claiming refuge and sought sanctuary in the United States from a war-torn country. She was caught on tape using racially derogatory language towards the African-American patient, referring to him as the N-word repeatedly and offensively referring to him as a slave, something Somalians are known for calling Black Americans. Furthermore, Ms. Diallo demanded the patient's status by mocking their enrollment in the CareSource health insurance. Wait a minute, Ms. Diallo, oh my gosh, demeaned the patient's status by marking the enrollment on the insurance, implying a lesser worth and dignity of the individual based on their medical coverage. So I'm guessing this is some type of CareSource, is some type of government coverage. So on Twitter, they are doing a call of action. They want her license to be revoked. Baby, they done put all the numbers up here. And this just Twitter. I'm sure I could go to TikTok and it's going to be more. But this is just Twitter. And I use Twitter because they had the video clips in here. So are you ready for these clips? Let's see. I hope it's going to...
Oh yeah, you are on CareSource. Who knows what the heck you doing?
You right.
You right.
You right.
You Negro.
You right.
You are a Negro.
You
Look
right.
at you.
You
Coming
right.
from foot.
You
What
right.
people ask
You
niggas.
right.
Look at you.
You right.
Go get your ass and get yourself a job.
You right.
Called her N-er first, changed it to a Negro, then told him to get a job. Let's see what she's saying on this one.
Look at you.
Look at you. Bitch, you like a lad. You like you about to play with carpet.
You prostitute. No, don't get out. They'll come get your ass
Bitch,
out
you
of
a
here.
prostitute.
Stay in here.
The fuck?
Stay in here.
Say when we stay in here.
Stay right here.
We stay right here.
We are right here.
Prostitute.
Okay?
The fuck?
You see who you dealing with.
Who you dealing with?
Huh?
Look at you with your ugly ass. Take your ass back to Africa, Spain, wherever the fuck.
Get your ass back to the
fuck?
slavery.
With your ugly ass.
You get out of the
fuck?
boat, you ugly
Fuck.
slave.
Talking
You
about.
are a
You
slave.
talking about a prostitute,
You
bitch.
are
You
a
got
slave.
some motherfucking footies with some
You are a
motherfucking
slave.
with some
You
tap
are a
dance
fucking
shoes.
slave. You
Shut
are
the
a
fuck
slave.
up.
Get the fuck out of my place. You
You
are
a-
a slave.
you
Look
a
at you, a
slave.
dog. A dog, you living on CareSource, living on people's stocks money and coming here and giving
you
people.
man.
Get your ass out and go get yourself
Your
a job.
boy-headed ass.
You bitch.
You
All
bitch.
of you guys, you are a bitch,
You
okay?
bitch.
Yeah.
All of you guys, you
Yeah.
bitch.
Yep. Yep. Get out.
You know?
Get out. Get out of my place.
Get out your place.
I'm not gonna get you nothing you want, okay?
Child, she hit that beach. She hit that beach. You are a beach. Now, let me say this. I have been in the medical field. My daughter's 36, so I've been in the medical field for 36 years. And I have never seen a doctor argue with a patient. I know she's a nurse practitioner, but in this case, you might as well say she's a doctor because she's checking you for your problems and she's going to write a prescription. So in patients' eyes, she's basically a doctor. But I've never seen a doctor or nurse practitioner interact with a patient like this. Now, I will say we do have rude patients. Normally, people who have something to lose, like license, we get up and walk out the room. That's all. I've seen it many a times, where, a patient will have a little problem with a doctor and the doctor say, okay, I'll be right back. They write something on the pad, they leave out the room. In other words, they're not coming right back. You're going to have to deal with whoever's sitting right there at their desk. So they're going to tell you, here go your checkout papers. You can go ahead on and leave. That's how it normally works. I've never seen someone of the cloth or who has something to lose sit down and actually, or stand up and actually argue with the patient, because the patient might not have nothing to lose. You actually have a license with the state or many states. And with that license, it affords you to take care of your family. In your case, nurse practitioner, you are from another country. So you got all these special provisions and license and all this stuff to lose. So if you have an unruly patient, they have a way you can discharge a patient, and a patient can never be seen in your office again. If you needed to, you could have went to the break room, called 911, had them removed. You never engage with a patient when you got something to lose, meaning your license. And so I wanted to come on here and show y'all. I know this might be kind of hard to see, but let's look at these comments, because the people be knowing. Look at they done added Ohio Medicaid, which I'm thinking that's what Care Source is related to, because she said you living off other people, you need to get a job and all this and that, when that's not always the case. But they have added Ohio Medicaid, Ohio Nursing Association, and the Ohio Medical Board. They have gotten together a group of people. Oh, there. They said we're going to be sending out formal complaints. Within, I think, an hour or two, I'm going to try to make this big. Within an hour or two, it might be a little blurry. Care Source have terminated their relationship with this doctor. So now she can't make no more money. She have to go, if she's allowed to continue to practice, she can't take no Medicaid patients. She can't take none. Somebody wrote into Care Source and they said, we have reviewed the incident that took place. Care Source does not tolerate discrimination of any kind and took appropriate immediate action. Our relationship with this doctor has been provider, because a provider could be a nurse practitioner or a doctor. So our relationship with this provider has been terminated according to the terms of the contract. Okay. So this video came out on August the 9th, and the Ohio, look at this, Ohio Alliance for Social Justice emailed Care Source, and they have terminated their relationship with this provider. So it looked like the people on Twitter, they just as ruthless. They gonna get in your ass, just like the people on TikTok. Somebody did the news channel, they did the police, they did the medical association, they did the city of Columbus. They did dispatch alerts. I guess that's the newspaper of Columbus. Now they said, okay, so now they want the nursing board. They said you have 24 hours to revoke her credentials and terminate her affiliation with this racist nurse practitioner. Somebody said, even if she was to lose her Ohio nursing license, she'll just go to Minneapolis and get fast-tracked in. She'll just go to another state, basically, and get fast-tracked in. Somebody said, I bet money she won't. And any go to Minneapolis, get a license, will follow her. Okay, so they said they're going to follow her. Somebody said she's not Somalian. Let me get back to that, because people have said her last name, which was what it says. What's her name? Oh, Diallo. They said is not Somalian. They're saying it's West African. Some people have said she can be from Ghana, Senegal, Gambia, and then somebody else in the comments said Fulani. So the Somalian people said, don't put us in this. Somalian said, somebody said she is in fact Somalian. So they arguing about, where she is. Somebody said they called the Association of Nursing and Nursing World. They spoke to friends of mine who are members, and they are just as shocked as I am when we learned that the American Nurse Credentialing Center and the American Nurse Association are deciding to protect and defend, let me make this bigger, racism and anti-Blackness in healthcare. So it looks like they're not going to do anything about it. So what's this right here? Okay, look. Somebody then gave an update on her license. Then I'm getting ready to go, child, because this could go on and on and on, child. Social media will hunt you down. Update. Adama Damalo's license is currently inactive, and she has not faced any disciplinary actions at this time. She voluntarily made her license inactive. It was not suspended by the board, nor did they impose the inactive status. Additionally, Diallo has taken down her website and disconnected her phone services and changed her personal contact numbers. Woo, honey. Let me stop sharing. Let me stop. Honey, they is not playing. So let me go, y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow. My phone is blowing up.